Molly Volatile is a Meanjin-based burlesque performer. She prides herself on being a hot mess and likes to express sex-positive intersectional feminism in herself and her acts, often hidden behind exteriors that range from tongue-in-cheek comedy to dark, gory themes. Molly is volatile, rapidly changing and unpredictable. Welcome back to the Burlesque Bulletin podcast. I'm your host, Honey Holloway, and today we are here with Molly Volatile.
Hello.
Hello, how are you going today?
I'm good.
You're looking
yes.
absolutely fabulous in your outfit.
Thank you very much. I thought long and hard about what to wear.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Well, you did really well because you look awesome.
Excellent. Thank you.
So, before we get into all the fun burlesque questions, can you let everyone know your zodiac sign?
Ooh, yes, I can. I love astrology, but I only love it when it applies to me. So I only know about my own stuff, which I think is what a few people have said. So I am an Aries sun. I am a Pisces moon and a Scorpio ascendant.
Nice. I'm also a Scorpio rising, so we've got that in common. Yeah, I feel like that's usually like the gateway drug, knowing all your own astrology before you know anyone else's. So that's how it happened with me.
Yeah, like I was looking at my chart and trying to see, okay, how much of this can I memorize so that I can try and impress you? And I'm like, no, none of it. Although there is, I very much identify as being a fire sign, but there is absolutely so much water in my chart. Like basically everything is in Pisces.
Yeah, wow, okay. Yeah, can you remember any of your other, like Venus or
I know
Mars?
that basically, Mars is actually in Virgo.
Okay, nice. I'll have to have a look
I
at
said
your
that with
chart.
confidence. I don't really know.
Well, I definitely see the Aries sun and the Scorpio rising, of course. But yeah, when you get to know people a little bit more, that's when you see the moon sign. So we might see that a little bit today.
Yeah, like the way that I describe it is I'm a passionate, fiery, emotional, cranky bitch, basically.
That encompasses everything pretty much, yep. So, tell us about how you got into burlesque.
Ooh, okay, so it was right smack bang in the middle of COVID. I love how everyone answers this question like if it was before COVID or after COVID or during COVID, like that's the timestamp for us all. But I have a really beautiful friend who was doing burlesque just casually at the time, and I was getting such FOMO. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I really want to do that. And she was like, well, you can. Yeah. Like for the small price of what, $110, $120, you can do a 6-week class. So I did an intro class at Bombshells back when it was at Metro Arts.
Oh, yep.
I did an intro class and it was literally like an intro class. So there was no performance outcome or anything like that. It was just here's burlesque, here's the history, like a whole class doing a glove peel, stuff like that. And then I feel like it really started for me when I did my next term and I did a fetish class. I was like, okay, yes, this is where I need to be. This is where I belong. And then I just have kept doing classes since then. Yeah, so I was very much bought into it, but I've always been an artistic person, sort of a jack of all trades, but master of absolutely none. And I was trying to figure out how I could channel all of those little skills that I have into something. And I think burlesque has been that for me.
Awesome. So how did you figure out your stage name?
So I put a lot of thought into it. Funny story, I actually had a different name when I started. Like when I made my Instagram page, I had a different name. It was Molly, but then it was a different surname. And then I saw that another performer had debuted with that name.
Damn.
Yeah. But then I got thinking around what I could replace it with. So I'll start off with the first name. So Molly, I was going to be called Molly. That was what my parents were going to call me because Molly is a family name in my family, and Molly's actually the matriarch of the family. So tracing back the origins of my family back to when they migrated from Ireland, I think, bunch of convicts. So it was Molly who was the, I think the daughter of the woman who I am actually named after. So it's sort of keeping to sort of that matrilineal line that I can follow back, and it's a bit of an ode to that. Awesome. Plus it's also an easy name for people to remember, for people to say as well. So that's where Molly comes from. And Volatile is also an interesting story because I wanted a name that sort of represents some of the versatility of what I wanted to do with burlesque and performing arts as well. And I think volatile is great because, you know, what it means is, you know, suddenly and rapidly changing. And there's also another story. So I... mid-COVID or post-COVID as well, I had some horrific mental health challenges. I had been, you know, isolating, working in a frontline service, had just finished like 7 years of study and wanted to go travel, and then the world locked down. So I sort of had a bit of a spiral, and I was getting treatment from a psychiatrist. I was splashing some cash trying to get some treatment. Went through all that, thought we're all good. And then my GP was reading me a letter that the psychiatrist had written, and they'd written some really awful things about my personality and how I was presenting. And then I thought, nah, that's like, awful. You know, expletive, I don't know if we can swear, but this deserves a swear. Like, fuck you. I'm actually going to take this back and I'm going to own it. Yeah. Like, it's sort of an ode to, okay, well, this is really misogynistic to be labelled this way. And something I'm really passionate about is stamping out misogyny. So I thought, no, I'm going to take this and I'm going to own it and use it as a name and use it as a positive descriptor.
Love that. That's awesome. I definitely, like, the times that I've seen you perform, your name definitely encompasses both, like, I see Molly as like kind of a soft sort of sweet name, and then that volatile, you definitely like encompass that. So it's like a perfect name for you.
Good, it's working. A lot of people think I mean Molly as in ecstasy, and I'm like, no.
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that.
No, I'm scared of drugs. We're all good here.
So can you describe Molly Volatile in 5 words?
Ooh, and I'm not allowed to use volatile because that's the name.
Yeah, can't use that one.
Okay, 5 words. I would say chaotic. Okay, I've got to number them because you'll just keep going. Sapphic. Very sapphic, I like to think. What else? Powerful. I definitely try to sort of hone in on my power as a woman and as a performer. So it's powerful. Sometimes she's a bit goofy as well. And I'm sure there's another word. Versatile.
Perfect. Love it, love it. So who's been some of your burlesque inspirations?
Oh my gosh, this is a hard question. And I think everyone just about like shrinks back into the chair when they have to say, because I think everyone that you come across, you take little bits from them and their performance style and the art that they create. I've got a lot of inspirations. One of my biggest inspirations is obviously my biological burlesque birth mother, Madeline Glasseter. She inspires me literally every day. I'm so lucky that I get to peek behind and have a little look into that brain of hers. So I get a lot of inspiration from her as a mentor for me as well. So I'm very lucky. I'm also really inspired. It's not so much burlesque, but more like a sort of punk cabaret icon. I love the artist Amanda Palmer from Dresden Dolls. She is just an amazing artist and sort of incorporates elements of, you know, of feminism and body positivity, and she is she's a self-taught pianist as well, which is something that I am. And I've loved her since I was younger. It was really nice seeing someone doing something different and being really strong and positive, but still, you know, really feminine and fun. So I get a lot of inspiration from her as well. I could keep going.
I mean, do one more.
One more,
for
okay. Going back to my first ever burlesque class, the fetish class, was a Magnolia Knife class.
Nice.
And I think Magnolia Knife probably knows that she's an inspiration for me
yeah.
as well. I just really, really like the artists that can play with light and shade and try and mix up what they bring to the stage as well, and can play with all different moods, emotions, colours, styles. That's what I would really love to do.
Awesome. So do you have a creative process, and what does it look like?
Ooh, okay. So my creative process is problematic. So I will think of something, and then I'll think of something, and then I'll think of something else, and then I'll write that down, and then I'll get bored of that, and then I'll tell everyone about that other something that I then put in the bin. So I just constantly have ideas going around in my head, but it always starts with music.
Okay, yep.
I'm really inspired by music, so it always starts with music. And are you a 90s child? Like, were you a
94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you a Walkman child?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, in the back of your parents' car, getting, putting in the earphones, sitting, staring out the window, like 100%. Imagining that you're in a video clip.
Yeah.
That's what I do as an adult.
Yeah,
as well.
I still do that. Yeah.
So that's what I do as an adult, and I think, oh gosh, this would be such a beautiful act for this. This would be how I would present this song.
Yeah.
So that's very much a process for me. So I will do that, and then I'll sort of have to reality check myself and think, okay, is this actually going to work? Can I pull this off?
Yeah.
And then what I will do is I will start to try and put some movement to it. I often do a bit of a storyline for my acts. I think that's the way that Bombshells does teach their headliners. They sort of have points that you're trying to reach in your act, but I really like to develop a storyline depending on either sound or the lyrics of the song and the concept that I have in mind as well. So I'll storyline it and then sort of try and match some movement or choreography to that. And then it's a mad rush to find a costume. I say find a costume because I never give myself enough time to actually think out a costume.
Sort of last
Yeah, like the sort of semi-wet glue and sort of rhinestones falling off me as well. So it is the last bit, and of course, not rehearsing in costume is a really bad idea, and don't do it. But often I will try on my costume and then go and perform. So that's really bad, and I've just outed myself for that. Costume, and then I'd like to say fine tune, but my fine tuning is actually finishing it.
Is it because you need a deadline to finish something? Yeah.
Yeah, and my deadline is going on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my deadline.
This needs to be done by yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. So I really need that pressure, and I think that's something I definitely need to work on as well. But I do like that about myself. I like that I can sort of, I'll just wing part of it. But yeah, I'll definitely have to work on that if I want any sort of longevity and not to just experience the most intense anxiety.
Yeah. I think I've seen some of your acts where it's the first time that you've put them on stage, and it definitely doesn't look like you're not prepared.
Oh God, don't tell me that because I'll never change.
No, I definitely noticed. No, I mean that's probably a good thing or a bad thing. Who knows? But,
and look, I think that's the final part of the creative process for me. Like it's, debuting something is testing it. Seeing how I feel doing it, seeing how people react as well. I also find it really hard to finalise an act without an audience. Like I love interacting with an audience. I love having audience as part of an act as well. So I find it really hard to do things without an audience because I'm such a show pony.
That is that final element to see how they react to things, because then that sort of makes you react. It's a relationship basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interpersonal thing. Yeah.
So what does a normal day look like for you?
Ooh, it's actually quite boring, which I think is what a lot of other guests have said.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like it is very mundane, but I work. I don't work full time because I absolutely refuse to work full time.
Me too, girl.
Yeah,
too.
good. I
I'd go
do a
crazy
good,
if I-
yeah, I do a good 0.8 and that's about it
Yep,
for
yep.
me because I lose interest by
Yep.
like Thursday. So yeah, I'll usually get up. I love to get up early. I'm an early bird, so I love to get up early when no one else is awake. It's all quiet.
Yep.
I love to just have my coffee and listen to a podcast and potter around, you know, just walk around aimlessly. I say I'm doing little bits of housework, but I'm literally just walking from one room to
Yep.
another, drinking a coffee.
Yep.
But if I have a day off, I love to see my family. I'm really attached to my mother and sisters and my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a dad too. So yeah, I'm really attached to my family. I love seeing them.
And they live close.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, you know, they're sort of spread out half an hour in each direction. So I have to make a choice as to what one I want to see.
Yeah.
So I love doing that. I also love going for walks in the sunshine
Yep.
as well because I need that to be able to function. So
Need that vitamin D.
yeah, it's just wandering around, but instead of doing it in my home, I do it out in
Outside.
public as well. So I'm a great wanderer around. And yeah, that's it, because I think my social life very much consists of this as well. So
Yeah.
that's not news to people.
Yeah.
People know that. Yeah.
Love it. So do you have any pre-show routines or rituals?
Ooh, okay.
Other
Again,
than gluing your stuff together at the
yeah,
last
gluing
minute?
my stuff together and trying to not. It's not so much ritualistic, but I have a way that I like to do things on a show day.
Yeah.
So I really like to have nothing else on that day because I just cannot function if I've got more than one thing that I have to try and get ready for. So I'll usually do my morning wander around, whether that's indoors or outdoors. And I like solitude while I'm getting ready. I will actually always get almost completely ready at home. So because I never trust dressing rooms, I have no faith that there's going to be somewhere appropriate for me to glue on a lash or put on a lip. So I will always get mostly ready at home.
Yep.
Make sure that I'm, warmed up, stretched as well, because I've just, my body is failing me as I'm getting a bit older. So I love to do that. And I also love to make sure that I have had more meals than I need as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very much that solitude of getting ready. And then it really depends on, what the show is. So if it's one that I'm helping manage or set up, it can be very different as to what I do. Like if it's one that I'm managing, I'll be putting 100 chairs in my car or something and then sweating and unpacking stuff and then, but if it's one that I'm in, I like to get there on time, if not early, and just sort of exist there until I'm needed.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So what's been one of your favourite highlights throughout your burlesque journey?
Ooh, I have so much fun. I always have so much fun with the different things that I do. But last year's Halloween season was actually really fun for me. I was able to go and work at an adults only, although I'll revisit that, sort of amusement park, like an American style theme park.
Yep.
Yeah, it was called Fearphobia. It said adults only, but there were 15-year-olds there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And it was interesting because one of the acts that I was doing for that, I was having the audience to cut me out of my dress. So I'd have to go and hand someone the scissors and be like, no, how old are you?
Oh, no.
So by the end of it, I did a few nights over 2 weeks. By the end of it, I was just going to the oldest looking person to give them the scissors.
Just in case.
Just make sure that you're 18 plus as well. But that was really a highlight for me because I got to have a little taste of what it would be like to work as a performer.
Yeah.
As well, and I also, I was able to perform three shows a night, same act, Like, I never performed it the same way twice.
Okay.
Again, the underprepared. But I was able to do that. And then the people who were sort of staffing it as well were amazing and so much fun. And I got to rove around, which was great because I got to completely just unhinge myself and just scare people or, I don't know, make people cringe, but I had fun. It was just fun. It was dirty. It was late nights. Like, it was really physically demanding, and I didn't even do the whole 2 weeks. I'm acting like I did the whole 2 weeks. Like, I did, I don't know, maybe half of it overall.
That's
but it was
still a
just,
lot.
it was just really fun, and it was a really good experience, and I loved spooky stuff, and the whole thing was just so camp. So, that was the highlight.
Awesome. Yeah, it looked amazing of what I saw on your Instagram. It looked like a lot of fun.
Thank you. Did you have a deep dive?
Of course. I got to do my research too. So what's a surprising lesson that you've had to learn or a challenge that you've had to overcome?
Oh, look, I think I overcome challenges daily, but I'm trying to think of what's one that's sort of important and worth sharing. I think it's, and this is something that's been on my mind a lot lately, so I'm probably still in the process of learning the lesson as well, because I am still baby. Like, I'm still only little. Like, I've only really just started. But I think the lesson that I'm learning is that I need to create things that make me feel good, things that I want to see as well. I sometimes struggle with thinking, okay, would I be getting more bookings if I was doing more palatable things? Yeah. And then when I go and try and put together a palatable act, I'm like, oh, no, I don't like that. No, that's awful. So I think the lesson is, learning to be true to what I want to perform. And I think as I start to sort of become more of a master or, more experienced, I'm going to be able to really balance that and provide something that people aren't scared to see or aren't like, what is that? Who is this woman? And sort of mix that with things that I like to perform as well. So that I'm learning. I haven't learned that.
Yeah, but you're growing.
I am growing. Yeah. And I think, another important lesson is to alcohol swab your titties before putting pasties on.
Oh, okay. That's a good tip.
Yeah. That's worth a lot of money.
Especially in
that
summer.
One. Yeah. Yeah,
that's definitely a good tip. So what's been some of the not so great moments?
Not alcohol swabbing my titties before putting pasties on.
That's the top one.
Like, I don't mind on stage, but Cam, you've probably seen a little nipple come out filming as well, and I'm just ruining YouTube for everyone else doing a performance on film with me. Containing the nipples, because I don't care, but YouTube cares. We've all got nipples. Lowlights. I think sometimes saying yes to too many things and really not having time to enjoy the things that I'm doing as well. But that comes and goes. Like, you have busy times and then you have times where you're doing sweet F4 as well. So I think it's a boundaries thing. But again, just starting out, I'm so keen to say yes to things, to take opportunities that come my way, because sometimes it's hard to make opportunities.
Yeah, you want to keep that momentum as well, but then sometimes you just burn yourself out too quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think balancing it with other parts of my life as well. I think that's something that's really hard too. Yeah,
for sure. So if you could choose someone to share a dressing room with, who would it be? And it can be someone that you know and have already shared a dressing room, or someone completely random.
I'm just trying to think. Like, my answer to this is no one. Like, I want a private
you want the
dressing
solitude.
room.
Yeah.
Like, where I can just spread all my stuff everywhere, because I think I would be the worst person to share a dressing room with.
Really?
Because I've usually got so much stuff. Like, I'm an overpacker.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I might need this completely different costume. So yeah, definitely. Look, I'd be quite happy in solitude. There are good people to share dressing rooms with. I remember I was doing actually one of Hayden's gigs as the Diamond Girl, and we just had this tiny little dressing room, and of course I was being just chaotic and messy. And Lucy Lucy Ostara. She just kept everything in the corner in a neat pile, was very calm, you know, a very good person to share the space with. But yeah, I don't know, besides someone who's neat and patient with me, that's good, because, you know, in the dressing room, I'm not my best self. So, you know, any of my idols, I'm like, I don't want them to see me like this. Like, you know, trying to stick things in places, you know, alcohol's for me.
Totally. And sometimes, you know, you want to be in their presence, but also you don't want to annoy them when they're getting ready.
Yes.
So like,
absolutely. Like you know, it'd be not so much share a dressing room with, but, you know, see after a show when we're all calm and we've all done our thing.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, that's a better time.
Yeah,
everyone's relaxed,
definitely for me.
have a drink, not be stressed about the show.
A quick thanks to Cam Attry for sponsoring the Burlesque Bulletin, and for all his hard work behind the scenes, filming and editing the podcast. Cam has been involved in the burlesque industry for over 12 years through his photography and videography. If you are a performer looking to get promo photos and video, or a producer looking to get your show photographed or filmed, please contact Cam through his website, camattry.photography, or find him on Instagram at camattryphotovideo. And now back to the episode.
So if you could swap lives with anyone in the burlesque community, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. I should have prepped for this, because this is, I actually don't know.
Really?
I'm trying to think, because like I very much enjoy my life, and I enjoy
it's only
the
for a
way
day.
that I do for a day. Maybe someone who tours as well. I think everyone says Jacqueline Fury as well, because
she does the fire as well.
Yeah,
so that
like she does
cool.
this amazing mix of you know, classic and neo, and then the sideshow as well. I think it'd be really amazing to have a little peek, like mainly like to have a little peek into the brain of hers as well.
Yes, that would be very interesting.
Yeah, take away secrets from that day of being her.
Yeah, for sure. So what's a random or surprising fact about you?
Ooh.
Maybe something just super random.
I hold my pen the wrong way.
The wrong way? As in
like the way that I write. You know how there's a correct way to hold a pen or a pencil?
Okay, yeah, like this? I don't know.
Yeah, like
right?
this. I know. So I hold it the complete wrong way, and the reason for that is I'm an Air Force child.
Oh, okay.
So I moved around during primary school every year or so, and no one could correct it.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because people don't usually notice.
Yeah.
But the people who do, it just disturbs them when they see the way that I write.
I used to have a what?
You trying to get me? No.
Let's have a look then.
Okay.
No one's
now I'm
judge
gaslighting
you.
myself. Okay. All right. Are you getting this, Cam? Okay. I feel like I need something to pretend to write on.
Here we go.
Oh shit. Now I'm nervous. Okay. So.
Okay, we've got to zoom in.
All right. Cam, you ready?
Beautiful.
Like this.
Yeah. Is that comfortable?
It is.
Is that more comfortable?
It is. And I'd say my handwriting's actually quite beautiful.
Okay.
As well, but it seems to disturb a lot of people, and really I don't think it's an issue.
Did they ever give you, so one of my best friends in primary school, he used to write like that, and they gave him this like weird contraption thing to write correctly, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that?
I did, but remember I'm volatile
Yes,
and
so
defiant, so I was like, nah, look, I've got this under control.
Yeah.
We're all good here. So yeah, it was never
write,
corrected.
You know, neatly or...
I know, but if someone like over the age of 60 or something who, you know, probably had unspeakables happen to them if they wrote like this, if they see me like this, I think they must have like internalised the unfairness or what's happened to them in their childhood, and like, you're not allowed to write like that.
That's wrong.
I've been managing just fine.
Yeah, you've been doing well. And as you said, it's neat, it's nice.
Yeah, it's legible, it's neat, it's good. I could be doing it correctly.
Exactly, you just got your own way.
I do. Exactly, that's like a metaphor for
for life. For your life. Oh. Anyways,
Moving on. Jeez.
That was a fun and random fact.
No, it was vulnerable of me to share that.
Well, thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
I really appreciate it. And hopefully no one will judge you.
Yeah, good. I'll lose followers after this.
Like, oh, have to unfollow after that. So what's one of your favourite things to do outside of burlesque?
Ooh, this sounds, again, so boring. I'm outing myself for being a homebody, but I love to be at home with the house clean and sitting on the couch, watching something stupid, eating something that I haven't cooked.
Okay.
That
You're not a good cook? You don't like cooking?
I am a good cook. I can cook very well. I just don't want to do it. I just do not want to do it. I just want it to be done for me. I just want to be the queen who gets her meal served to her. That's not my reality.
Does your partner cook or anything?
My partner does cook.
Good cook?
Oh, I'm going to out myself for being a horrible, nasty bitch here. That's been a journey that we've been on together as a couple, the cooking, because I tend to micromanage in the kitchen.
Okay.
So he doesn't get to do it his own way. He has to do it my way. And I sort of give him a little comment every time I see him do something. Yeah. But we've been trying to cook together so that I get over my avoidance of it. And he... I was about to say learns from me. I have nothing to teach him. I'm just a control freak. But we've been doing it together. So I'll be like, right, I'll be on chopping, you'll be on pans. Let's do it as well. Good. But so I enjoy just sitting back, relaxing, being in my own space. I really love being in my own space. Yeah. And just being able to do my little tasks as well. So, yeah.
Love that. Yeah, I'm definitely the same. I need like my own space, my own solitude sometimes, most of the time. And then I can deal with everyone else.
Yeah, I think like a really common misconception about burlesque and performing artists and drag artists is that they're extroverts. No, they're not. They're literally the kings and queens and royalty of masking.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just take off my, my skin suit and sit on the couch, and that's what makes me happy.
You can just be a little gremlin self.
Yeah, little gremlin self sitting on the couch.
It's the best. So if you could only ever perform one song ever again, what would it be?
Oh gosh, I wish I'd prepared for this because then I could come in with like a really cool
It's
answer.
a hard answer either way. So
yeah, one song and one song only.
It could just be something that you're really loving right now as well.
But I love everything right now. One song and one song only. Like, I'd really love to, like, have this, like, an answer prepared where I talk about this, like, long progressive metal song that's got all these different twists and turns. I don't know, maybe something that does go for a long time. Maybe... I don't know, this is freaking me out and Cam's going to have to edit this because I'm panicking. Something that I love. I know this is a bit cringe, but like maybe a Meatloaf song or something.
Yeah, right.
You know, like we've got a bit of piano, we've got some vocals, we've got some sort of orchestral stuff as well.
And everyone loves a little bit of Meatloaf, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I don't know, maybe like I could do anything for love or something like that. Yeah. Because that's something I also, I love to play that song. I love to sing that song.
And people know that song as well. People can sing along or groove along to it.
Yeah, and look, I really wish I had something cooler to say.
No, that's cool. That would be better than my answer. Mine would probably be like Spice Girls or something. Like something super lame. So that's
Meatloaf.
That's definitely cooler than the Spice Girls. So.
Yeah, and I think that's a song from my childhood too. Like it reminds me of my parents. It, reminds me of every time we like could agree on something to listen to as a family. Yeah.
Love that. Also, completely random fun fact that I just trailed off and thought of. Meatloaf was actually in the Spice Girls movie.
True.
I don't know if you've ever seen Spice World.
I know that fact.
Yeah, he was in it because I think he called them and wanted to be in it because his daughter was like obsessed with the Spice Girls. So So random.
Yeah,
Fun fact
that's
for
it.
everyone.
I wonder if we're connected like that.
So random.
You're the Spice Girls to my meatloaf.
Yeah, exactly. So what's some of the best advice that you've received?
Best advice. Alcohol swab your nip. No, I'm joking. I think the best advice, everyone always says it's from Cello Bordello. That's given the best advice,
Yep.
but she really does give the best advice. I remember I booked a private with her just so that she could talk some sense into me and be like, yes, go ahead with this idea. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I sort of shared with her some of my worries around, you know, I've got these ideas, but I don't know if they're particularly palatable. They're not very pretty. They're not very burlesque-y. And she said to me, just perform what you want to perform. And obviously I've been agonising over that since she said it to me, but that is the best advice.
Yeah.
Perform what you want to perform, because I think if I was performing something that I didn't like, that I wasn't comfortable with, you'd see it.
Yes, definitely.
You'd see it on my face, you'd see it in my body, there'd be the hesitation, I wouldn't be feeling it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. So what's some maybe bad advice that you've received, or a backhanded compliment? Something that was taken the wrong way or something?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever received bad advice because I just ignore it.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't really suit
like,
me or that I don't
yeah.
like, I'm like, no,
thank
I'm just
you.
going to not even take that on board. I don't have the space for that. But I think a lot of burlesque performers get backhand compliments that people don't realise that are backhanded compliments. Like
the brave one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was about to say it to me, like you're so brave.
Yep.
I'm like, what's brave about it? Like, I'm a straight-sized AFAB woman.
Yeah.
Like doing something that is easy for a straight-sized, able-bodied AFAB woman.
Yep.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
this is not anything brave of me that I'm doing. I'm doing something that I actually love.
Yeah.
So there's always those comments as well, the backhanded compliments. I should just take them.
I mean, yeah, it's hard because it's meant to be a compliment, you know, but the intention, it's also, you don't know how to respond. You're like, how do I respond to this appropriately? And I haven't found the answer to that yet. So.
Yeah, I think a good response is, I've done far scarier things.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
So if you could travel back in time and talk to yourself when you started burlesque, what would you say?
I would say, hello, darling girl, you are actually hypermobile, so be careful.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I discovered that during classes because I think I was in a class with Mags or something. I forget who the tutor was, and they're like, oh, you just need to sort of shift yourself this way because you're hypermobile. I'm like, what? Because I've never been a sporty person or anything like that. Like, I've always just thought I was flexible.
So they saw you and knew that immediately?
Oh, yeah, because my legs go like a flamingo.
Oh,
like,
really?
they go backwards. So,
Wow.
no, I think I would just say, like, I didn't expect to get this into it as well. And I think I would just go back and tell myself to take advice from people, take my time as well in doing things.
That's some good ones.
Yeah.
So do you deal with imposter syndrome, and do you have any ways of overcoming it, or how you deal with it?
Yeah. That's a funny one. I think, like, I deal with so much imposter syndrome in my personal, professional life. So I'm like, that I've got that covered elsewhere. So for burlesque, I don't really feel an imposter syndrome because who am I trying to be?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be myself.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I do and what I like to do. Like, I think that's how I manage to sort of go about things without feeling a sense of being an imposter in this world. And I've sort of created this world for myself so that I can try and be authentically who I am. So, you know, that point of comparison, you know, sometimes I look at other people and think, oh, damn, wish I thought of that. Or, you know, they're so good at that, I want to be good at that. But it's more like I find that I get more inspiration from it rather than feeling sort of threatened by it. And I know that imposter syndrome is really hard to work through. And I do work through that a lot in my professional life outside of the titties on stage thing. So, yeah, I've got that covered in other areas.
That's good though. That's a good answer because you focus more on how you show up and not everyone else, which is hard in this day and age.
Yeah, exactly. And look, because it's my brand, I'll be like, yeah, that was purposefully messy.
Yeah.
Or that was
Meant to be
purposefully
like that.
chaotic.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
yeah, that was meant to be
Volatile.
absolutely ruined and not working.
Yeah.
That's the brand.
Yep.
So you just got to make the brand match you.
Yep.
Don't try and match the brand.
Yeah. So what do you believe is your biggest strength when performing?
I actually almost always have a really fun time. And I think I'm really good at improvising as well. Like a lot of the acts that I have done for Colt have been, you know, I've been given a bit of direction, I've been given some music, and it's like, righto, out you go, and do that. And
Do you have a run through?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, you know, I love to sort of, you know, have that little idea of where I'm going with things when things need to happen. But I really do love to improvise. And that has come in handy considering I'm chronically under-rehearsed, as I've already outed myself as being. But yeah, I think I'm good at improvising, and I think that's why I love having an audience, because it's fun to be able to play and bring the audience into things. I find that, really fun.
What about some of your weaknesses or something that you want to work on?
I think a broken record by this point, but, you know, I'm under-rehearsed. I would really, and this is my goal for this year, and I'm saying this on a platform where I'm going to be published saying this, so literally everyone
hold you to
can
it.
hold me accountable if they've listened this far. I think it's to put together something that I'm I am proud of a lot of the things that I've done, but to put together something of a really high quality that I'm really extra proud of, and that is sort of not completely polished, but not like, you know, like dropped in the mud and kicked around like some of my other acts have purposefully been. So yeah, that's. What was it? What was the question?
Weaknesses and
under rehearsing is definitely that. And I think a weakness as well for me is also thinking that I can do everything by myself when I have access to such amazing mentors.
Yeah. So you mentioned some stuff about goals, but is there any other goals that you have for this year or just in the future in general?
Look, I probably need to do some goal setting to keep me accountable. I don't know. Should I do it on this platform as well? I think my goals are just to keep going.
Yeah.
As well, like just to keep, you mentioned before the momentum, just to try and keep some momentum, to keep going, to keep learning, to, you know, maybe go interstate. As well, to maybe see, you know, try and meet people interstate. It's I think the best part of this industry in a way to, you know, get booked for things or considered for things is to know people and to have relationships with people. So I'd really love to go interstate and meet some performers. So we'll see. See if that happens.
Have you seen any, or do you follow Fresh Meat on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would be awesome on that stage.
Yeah.
It's like your vibe. So, yeah.
I have been giving that a bit of a stalk, so I think I might sort of, you know, put my name out there. Fresh Meat.
Yeah.
If you are watching and listening, don't listen to anything I just said about being chronically under-rehearsed. I will have something significantly polished and beautiful, whatever you want. Just pay me.
Yeah. They'll be listening.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be like, oh, Molly, Volatile. Great.
She's ready. So we're going to play a little game.
Okay.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Chronically excited.
So it's just a this or that game. So I
Okay.
give you 2 options and you tell me which one's your favourite.
Okay.
Okay. Rhinestones or feathers?
Rhinestones.
C-string or G-string?
Oh, God. I don't know who that is. C-string and contain me G-string.
Neo or classic?
Ooh. Neo.
Boa or feather fans?
Dude,
I know, it's hard. They get worse.
Okay.
They get harder.
A boa, but I need to qualify this. Not a feather boa because I'm too sweaty. I have like an organza kind of thing. Yeah, that's twice the size of me. Yeah, that.
Lace or leather?
Leather, because I'll destroy lace.
Not too sweaty for leather?
I am too sweaty for leather. That's going to go on and off easy. It's the lubricant.
Tassels or assels?
Well, I'm so good at both. I think assels are hilarious.
It's an extra fun
Assels,
surprise.
Yeah.
Diamonds or pearls?
Pearls.
Okay. Drag or burlesque?
Don't. I don't know. I feel like the two are, they're siblings.
Yeah, they are.
As well, and they can exist together as well as they can exist separately. And I'm just trying to avoid having to answer this.
You can love them both. You love your siblings the same, but maybe just different on a different day.
Yeah, well, the sibling I love today is burlesque.
Okay. Stocking peels or stripper heels?
Ooh, stocking peels.
Big stage show or intimate bar show?
I love audience interaction, but I think a big stage show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cabaret or comedy?
Again, they're siblings.
Yeah.
They're siblings. You're asking me to choose a favourite sibling. Comedy.
Okay. Movies or a TV series?
Movies, because I lose interest so quickly.
Do you have a favourite movie?
I don't know that I have a favourite movie. Like, I go through stages of liking different things for different reasons. But I always come back to movies that are not necessarily good movies, but movies that have like a nostalgic feel to them.
Definitely.
Like, I think I was reminded of it the other day because Billy Brash performed to a song from it, but Josie and the Pussycats. Not a great movie, but just like my childhood as well. And it's just
so good.
Yeah, so
it's
good.
So bad, but so good.
I know. And I was like, again, I could have prepared like a cool answer for this and said like some awesome art house movie, but no, just movies like that have like this nostalgic
the
place.
nostalgia is just hits different. It really does. Doesn't have to be good. I mean, I always I've had so many favourite movies when I was a kid, and then I watch them when I'm older, and I'm like, oh, they're not as good as I remember, but I still loved it. I still had a great time.
And some parts of it, you're like, oh God, this hasn't aged well. Like, I'll be cancelled for loving this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything too problematic in Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a few, but not that I remember in Josie and the Pussycats, I think. I have to watch it again. It's been a while. You kind of answered this before, but early bird or night owl?
Early bird. Yeah.
Sweet or savoury?
I think savoury because I can tolerate more of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I love like a little cheese or a chippy or
What's your favourite meal, if you can choose?
Ooh, favourite meal. Okay, this is really obscure. Well, probably not really for people who live in Brisbane, but I love seafood. And I love like a beautiful like sand crab lasagna with like a creamy sauce.
A sand crab lasagna. I can say that I've never had that before.
I know. Once again, being really obscure, but like that's what comes to mind because it's like it's pasta and it's seafood and it's so rich.
Nice. I'll have to try it. Interesting. Halloween or Christmas?
Halloween.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course.
come on.
Red or white wine?
Oh, look, I'm a sober girly now,
Mm-hmm.
but back when I used to dabble, I'd love a red wine.
Okay.
Mm.
And what about cocktails or beer? If you
Again,
used to.
back when I used to dabble, probably beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I know, a little bloated mess, but I don't know. It was just probably what I had access to.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Cheaper than a cocktail.
Yeah,
too.
cheaper than a cocktail. And with a cocktail, you know, like I don't want it to be too alcohol tasting. Like I just want it,
okay. Did you ever have a go-to back in the day of a cocktail?
Of a cocktail.
Yeah.
Look, it was more strategic than anything. Like because cocktails weren't really my thing.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
what was the strategy?
to stay awake but be drunk.
Oh, okay. Espresso
martini.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But if I had sort of no boundaries with whoever was making the drink, I'd be like, can you get some caramel sauce and pour it in so I can't taste the vodka in it? Yeah, so I'd just be having this sugar, this caffeine and this alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so that's why I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. So what have you got coming up within the next couple of months or the year? Let everyone know what you've got going on.
Oh gosh. A lot, but not a lot. I will forever be promoing for Colt. I'm really lucky that I get the opportunity to be a bunny and to help stage manage and to help with the behind the scenes stuff. I'm always along for the ride. So there are a few dates for the rest of the year. Not sure when this is coming out, but there's going to be a festival.
Yes.
Coming up in June, and it's going to be amazing because it's going to be a mixture of visual arts, there's going to be vendors, it's going to be music, and lots of amazing performers as well in a cool venue.
Very excited about that.
So that is coming up. I'll probably set up the chairs for it. That'll be my, what else do I have coming up? It's mainly just those things. Like I love sort of promoing for those things that a lot of my friends are in. I don't really have much booked for the rest of the year, but I do have an act. It's in my brain. Ooh. It's made it to paper and it's made it to telling someone about it.
Okay.
I do have an act that I'm wanting to work on and debut, so I'll try and aim to do that maybe around Halloween.
Okay.
Season.
Right. We'll put all the dates and everything that we can in the
absolutely.
information so everyone can find
and
those.
people can always go and sort of, like link in bio, like there's all the stuff that I'm supporting or performing in. I keep a link with tickets and post about it incessantly. So people will know what's coming up.
Okay, and what is your Instagram for people who haven't
my
followed you
Instagram is at Molly Volatile, spelt
like
this. We had to check that we were spelling my own name correctly.
And the E survived. It kept falling before, but it survived.
Yes, so Molly with a Y, not an IE. At Molly Volatile, if I haven't been chuffed off the face of the earth by Instagram by then.
The Instagram
I'm pushing the boundaries with Instagram. So, that's me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. It was so lovely to have a chat with you and get to know you a bit more.
Thanks for having me, and thank you for giving lots of different performers a platform. I think it's really sweet and really lovely, and listening to the podcast, I feel like I'm really getting to know a lot of different performers. And it's really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our guest for being on the podcast and letting us take a peek behind the curtain of their lives. Thanks for everyone joining us, and we will see you in our next episode.